Hey everyone, in this edition I come to you on a cold and frosty morning in Whatcom Park in Bellingham, Washington. I've always wanted to check this place out because it's an urban park with cool waterfalls, which is always worth a visit. Once I arrived, I went straight to one of the waterfalls. It was a pretty frosty morning and I was excited to see how everything looked. I loaded up some film and also took some digital photos. I was a bit worried about how much space was between me and the waterfalls, but I went for it anyways. Here are a couple film shots I got. Definitely not winners, but I think what's important is that if you don't like a photo, or photos in my case, it's important to be able to understand why it didn't work. In these photos cases, I think the root cause is that the subject was simply too far away to be interesting as a wide-angle shot. A strong subject changes the context of its surroundings, and in these film photos we can see how chaotic the scene really was, making the photos seem sort of directionless. Now, jumping over to the digital photo, we have the benefit now of a modern camera's flexibility to focus stack and blend exposures to create the final image. And in the digital photos case, we can see how uninteresting the scene really was behind the film's grain and chaos. I'm not saying there really isn't a good shot here, but I just know I definitely didn't take it today. Whatcom Park was really frosty, and it was so nice to be able to walk around in the sunshine and look at a peaceful forest with some added spice. The icy leaves and ferns everywhere were so beautiful, and it was so pleasant to soak it all in. I was looking at a tree when all of a sudden I saw some movement on my left and a deer popped its head out, just adding to the vibe, I guess. I had recently been shooting a lot of photography of fallen leaves, so I mostly just observed the frosty leaves strewn on the ground. I was after something else. If you have seen my other videos, this may sound sort of typical, but I really enjoy shooting photos of ferns and seeing how they change throughout the seasons. Since it had rained a lot this fall, the ferns were super lush. The frost clung to them in a really thin layer and had some small dustings of snow. I found a perfect subject, and here is the photo I got. As the day went on, I went to check out some of the other waterfalls in the park, and there's a really big one by a bridge near the entrance, which I think is pretty cool, but I didn't take any photos of it. I mostly just looked at it and shot videos and hung out on the bridge, and it was a good time. The real treasure is actually this smaller waterfall that is a bit upstream of it, and I shot a tight composition of the waterfall cascading with my telephoto. I've been seeing a lot of tight telephoto compositions of waterfalls lately on Instagram and YouTube, and I wanted to cast my lot, but with my own flair. So at the end of the day, while I had some images I was happy with, I really consider these types of trips sort of like practice or exercise. Doing photography is an amazing feeling when you're in the flow, and the more you get out there and practice shooting different types of scenes, the more fun you'll have. One piece of parting wisdom I have is to enjoy your successes, but learn from your failures. Have a great one, and be sure to like and subscribe.